Hey, how's it going? It's Kevin from Reviews by Kevin, and I do quick reviews of stuff, and I'm here to show you the monitor that I now use for my day-to-day work on Mac. And I think, personally for me, for the kinds of things I do on Mac, I think this is the best happy medium between everything you need for an external monitor for Mac today. I'm going to go through the reasons why I think that's the case. So to be clear, I don't do video or photo work or anything like that requires color correction. So I can't speak to this monitor's capabilities for that. I do think it is, like, in terms of those things, good, but my daily use case is web development. So text-based work, creative work, is what I'm kind of going to be talking about this thing's strengths for right now. So the monitor is an LG 24-inch 4K monitor, and the model is 24UD58-B. So not a very memorable name, but that's what it is. The reason why I think this is such a good monitor right now is your choices for monitors for things like this are kind of oftentimes like 27-inch 4Ks, 27-inch 1440p's, and then the ultra-wides and stuff like that. Ultra-wides are good, but oftentimes they're going to have some of the problems that I'm going to talk about. It depends on which ones they are. So the way that Mac works in the current version is that fractional scaling on external monitors is not something that's done very gracefully. And so what fractional scaling is it's like, let's say you have a 1440p monitor. Instead of having everything be just small, like smaller than it would be on a 1080p monitor, if something fractionally scaled, it would make it bigger but sharper. You can't do that on Mac on the current version. I believe you could on a previous version, and like a coworker of mine said that he downgraded his OS to a previous version so that he could keep using his 1440p with the same effective resolution as a 1080p. But you can't do it in the current Mac version, at least in like just a regular old DisplayPort or HDMI monitor. So for me, a 27-inch 1440p monitor on Mac right now is just, everything's just too small. Like, it's not comfortable to use all day. And if you do scale it, like if you go into your display settings and start scaling it, it just makes it blurry. It doesn't actually, like Windows, you can scale everything to 125% and it scales sharp. And actually I have a Ubuntu install on my desktop, and I keep it at 16.04 because that lets you do fractional scaling too. I think 18.04 lets you do it, but it's like in hidden menus now. So this is like a difficult thing for OSs to do, and Mac does not do it well right now. So if you go for a 27-inch 4K monitor, it still is the effective resolution of 1080p. So anytime you're using a 4K monitor on Mac and you use the default scaling, it scales everything to the same size as it would be with 1080p, but everything's just twice as sharp. So that's essentially what they call Retina. For me, that done at 27 inches is weirdly big. Everything just looks big. So like the LG 4K monitor that you see often, especially even in this line, that's most common is the 27-inch one. But I used that actually when I was at work, and it just looked too big and it was kind of awkward. So I think 24-inch 4K is the sweet spot. If you use this, you're gonna want to get an adapter, obviously, that can run it at 4K 60 Hertz. So you got to be careful on what you buy. I'll leave links in the description both to this monitor and to dongles that I would recommend. I'm like pretty picky about dongles, and I literally run this website called alldongles.com where like I find and list the best dongles. So I'll try and steer you right there. But for this kind of work, it's sharp, it's beautiful. One negative about it is that the stand that it comes with is not adjustable. So I have it on a VESA mount. That's a good thing about this, is that it has a standardized mount on the back called a VESA mount, so you can just put it on any stand. I'll link you to the one I use. It's like the Amazon Basics one, and then you can adjust it and lift it up and down. There's all these monitors right now for Mac that are like USB-C that you plug in, and it does like USB for you, as well as powering the monitor, as well as powering your laptop. Those things run you like 3 times the cost of this. This monitor, I got it on sale on Amazon for $220. So a lot of the good 4Ks that you're gonna find on Amazon that are maybe a little considered fancier or whatever, are like $500, $600, $700, depending on the ultrafine or whatever. And this is comparable in the way that it handles scaling to the LG Ultrafine 5K. So this is like essentially the same scaling as that, but just at an effective 1080p instead of an effective 1440p. So like that really would be better, is to be at effective 1440p with this scaling factor. But those LG Ultrafine 5Ks are like, what, like $1,000? Like this is pretty much just as good, and I got it for 220 bucks, and then another 40 bucks for the stand. So I'm kind of rambling on here, but you're seeing why like there's a lot of things that make this a sweet spot. If you're okay not having like the new fandangled USB-C only setup. But I think you're better off just getting a really good solid Thunderbolt 3 dongle, which I just am doing a review on that too on my channel, on a really good one. I think you're better off just getting that and getting this monitor and getting a stand. And that, I would take that today probably over an LG Ultrafine 5K, because the LG Ultrafine 5K, I mean, this is my own personal opinion, but I think it looks a little washed out. I don't know, maybe it's placebo just because I like this one so much. It's more reflective. Like this isn't matte essentially, but almost kind of matte. This isn't super bright, so I keep it max brightness during the day, and then I flip it to, there's like night modes and stuff at night, and reading modes and stuff like that, which is nice. I like to dim it down a little bit at night. So it's not like blow your eyes out bright, but it's bright enough for daytime use, like if you're indoors in a place with a window, like most of us probably are. So especially for web development, text looks super crisp on this. I also use it as like a external secondary monitor on my gaming setup. So like I just switch between my left and right monitor, but depending on if I'm on my Mac or my PC. It's a great monitor. I can't recommend it enough. It has 2 HDMI inputs and 1 DisplayPort input. So if you've got multiple setups or whatever like that, you can do it, and you can go in with HDMI or DisplayPort. So great monitor, couldn't recommend it enough. Oh, and I'll leave links in the description where you can buy it, and the stand and stuff. All right, peace out.